Hi Flosstube, this is Donna Wistful, and I've got a couple final finishes this time, and I'll share some of the progress that I've made, but really I'm just getting ready for May Mania. First of all, there's one finish I cannot show. It's a king-size quilt that I started at the beginning of this year. And it's one that I've designed for my daughter, who we're going to see in the UK. So it's one that I did a design, but it's also taking stuff from the wedding and putting it together. And so it's been a major undertaking of sewing that and hand quilting it and getting it ready, and I finished it. So eventually I'll share a photo, but I'm afraid that won't be till June, end of June. So it's a while yet. So I've got a couple finishes. One that I shared earlier, and this was Dreamcatcher. So love that. But the feathers got me in the end. It was a real shame. So it's a bit of a cloudy day, and this was a kit that I had sitting around for ages. So pleased that's finished and done. And I finished one of the 12 of Hugs and Kisses Thoughts for the Month. So I've got this one finished. And this is just a simple, relaxing one. And I'm going to quilt around the outside. It's got a holder, and I can hang a different one each month. So I've already started on the next one. And it's just a thought of the month. And they came in kits like that. And quite nice. So that's another project. And then I've made... It's sort of a semi-cloudy day, so I don't know what the weather's going to do. So sorry about the... lighting. I've been working on my Laura Standish sampler, and this is a biggie. I do biggies, and I think I've shown it before. It's got quite a few different stitches, but I'm working on the 14th band, and so I've done quite a bit more of that. So very pleased with the progress for this week, and I'm getting there. But as you may have seen from my Stitch Mania progress, I've got a lot of things happening at the same time. So this is put out by the Exemplary, and it's this is the oldest known surviving American sampler, and it's just beautiful. So I'm doing that one. So I've got a bit more, but this bit will go quick. So very pleased with that. And then about a month ago or whatever, I started a fractal. And this is page 1. That's my crazy needle minder that I love, and he goes good with the she goes good with the fractal. And this is what the picture is going to look like eventually. So it's another rather large sampler. Well, embroidery piece. And then I've started working on my chatelaine, and I've made a bit of progress, but you know how I started today listening to Gerald and doing some other things, and you get some days, some stitching times that you wonder what you are thinking. So I'm making fairly good progress with this, but it's one of those biggies, and I was worried that I had mucked up the stitching. So hopefully you can see that. I'm not exactly the best of showers. And that's this one by Martina Rosenberg. And her picture's much better. And then I've been working on, I'm dropping things, my stocking by Celestial Angels. And this was a Bucilla design. And I'm making a bit of progress. So quite pleased with her. And then I've done a bit with the Ada. Oh God, this one drives me nuts saying it. It's by Design Work. It's the Ada Ron Dak Lodge. Oh God. And see if I can do the, I'll do it from there. So I got a bit more on the gun and the snowshoe. Snowshoe's just about done, and starting with the gun, and there's another snowshoe on the other side. So that's quite neat. Because I tend to do a lot of samplers and stuff, which I am putting back into my rotation. A lot of it's slow going and very hard. And I've got so many things that I've saved over the years that I've sort of halfway finished. This is one that I just found today, and I haven't even added it to my whips. So I'll try and show you. It's one that I'm going to do various things. This is a from the Bayeux tapestry place in Bayeux. And I started that ages ago. It's just stem stitch. And it should be nice. So you wonder why you stop doing things. And sometimes it's just you don't feel like tackling it. So I'll show you some of the whips that I'm going to do. Must be nuts. I'm going to do 31 next month. So I'm in the process of getting them ready. And that includes, because I have so many in such a wide variety that take various stitches, I grid a lot of mine, and that is helpful for me to stitch. I know a lot of people don't grid. I use thread because I had a major disaster with one of my embroidery pieces using a marking pen, and I swore never, never, ever, ever again. It stuck, and I tried all sorts of stuff I had to throw it out and start over. And so it was just heartbreaking because it was just about near the end. It was up in Auckland where I was, and we had rain that kept coming, and during the rain the marking would go, so I'd remark it, and then in dry weather it would come back, and it was just dreadful. So it got to the stage that it wouldn't come out of the linen, and so it was stuffed. I've got a couple of thank yous and shout outs from people, different floss tubers that I like. Country Stitchers, love their samplers. And I must say that Liz enabled me to get the Historical Countries sampler. I saw it with Liz Bergen on Luby's Lot, who I also watch, and she's fabulous. So I've ordered the CD, and I can hardly wait to start that. That's sounds like a lot of fun. Social Stitchers, Stitching, they're from Canada, two young girls, and they do fabulous work, and just love the banter. It's just really fun. So that was quite good. And of course, Nicola Parkman from Hands Across the Sea. As I'm into samplers, it's quite fun listening to her, and the samplers are really fabulous, and the books. So I've ordered the new one, so we'll see when it comes. So looking forward to it. Haven't tried hers before. I've seen them before in the past, and I took a look at the price and went, and it was just where I was at that stage. So let's see. I also listened to Adelaide Cottage, Donna, and like hers, and Sarah, the Backyard Stitcher. I want to thank her for giving me a shout out for my Flosstube, because I'm fairly new to it, and she's doing a wide variety of projects, so they're quite fun to see what she's up to, and they're different, which is kind of fun. Now, the next thing I'm going to get into is showing you a little bit about some of the samplers that I've chosen and why. I told you about VO, going to there. We travel quite a bit, and so a lot of times some of them are samplers and some aren't, and so I decided to, am I doing that right side up? Yeah, it is. The boat's right side up. It's a tapestry, so putting it on, I had hubby make me some new dowels, and then attach them to the dowels, attach them so I could put them on my frame, and so I'll give that a go. So that's sort of, I call it stitching. That's kind of fun. And then I found this Janlin. Sorry about the plastic, but I've got so many to show. This is a Janlin called Devotion. I don't know how I'll go with this. It's on black. I don't do many things on black. This was a kit that I got ages ago. So it's going to be, it looked like a peaceful one, so I thought I'd try that. And then, of course, I've got a lot of scarlet letter ones, and this is just an example. So these I've gone through 2 weeks of gridding my fabric, so a lot of these. This is an American sampler, Lucretia Mouse, so that'll be fun. So looking forward to that, and that'll be on DMC. And I figure even if I get a few stitches, I'll work about an hour on each project on each day. Plus I'm going to try and do 2 hours on some of my whips. So that should be good. And then I had, I'll have to, as you can see, I've got so many I had to put them in large glad bags. I'm going to do a cobwebs design, and this was a Diana Princess of Wales one, and that's a small one, but so I'll see how it goes. I didn't change a lot of the, that's what it's on. And it looks nice. It looks, it's Aida, so that'll be a bit of relaxation. Some of the things that I've got are quite different. Like this one here is Eileen Anderson's designs. For the Golden Jubilee with Elizabeth II, she put out a sampler. So I thought that was good, and I'll do that the day after I do the Diana Princess of Wales. So there's a lot of other designs going on. This one's on Aida. Have to take a look. It's from the Victoria and Albert, and it's got teapots. So it'll sort of relax my eyes after doing the samplers. I've got a couple permans. Now permans, I found that most of those are pretty intensive. This one, a lot of those aren't really labeled. Well, they're labeled with numbers. So this one is a motif extravaganza. I've labeled that. And that sounds quite fun. And it's got everything. So I think that'll be a bit of a relaxing one. That's what appealed to me. And this year when I do a bit of traveling, I hope to, we're going to stop in Copenhagen, I think, for at least one day. And I hope to pick up some. Because, yeah, like I need them. I've got Amelia Boyce's sampler too, from Scarlet Letter. And I love that one because it's got the border, the pretty border, it's got the pretty church, it's got the pretty houses, not houses, pretty trees, and a couple flowers. So it's, that's from Richmond, Virginia. So that's quite different. And, oh, this one. This one I'm looking forward to. I've only got a couple French samplers, French things. One is this one. It's the one from Brittany. And I got this when I was in Bayeux. And that one is on Aida. So, never certain. Do I say Aida or Ida, or I goof it up. And I've got Elizabeth, Ginger. These I haven't done yet. And once a week I'll be posting the progress. And then I've got some from Africa. And that's just a simple lion, well, simple lion. And I even threw in a coaster because I wasn't certain how I'd do. And this is a Sibmacher. This is a German sampler. And that's got the motifs again. Scarlet Letter. And one that just really entranced me, for some reason, I love some of this. This is Ruth Batchelor. And so when we're in England, I hope to go to the Fitzwilliam Museum and have a good look at some of their samplers. And that's Scarlet Letter. A lot of mine I got. Story of my life, when you're working, you don't have time to do it. You have the money for the samplers, but then you don't have the time. Now I've got the time. And hope to do a few things yet. And I've managed to pick up some others. And then I've got the caffeine one. This was one of the deals that I got in New Zealand at a quilt shop for 20 bucks. So it's by DMC, and I'm wrapped with that. And that's just simple on Aida. So I hope to do that. And then I got to show you what I'm going to start out the lot with, because I figured it was a good one to start out the lot with. I'm going to do Death by Crossstitch. And everybody's got a different take on it. So there's the design for that, but I probably don't need to show that too much. I've pre-marked the start, and my primary color is going to be this one. And then I'm going to hit it with, I thought I would start out accenting it with that variegated, but I decided I might need to spice it up a bit. So I got different variegateds, and I'm just going to do it in DMC and do it as I feel. And so, who knows? We will just see where we go with this. So that's just a taste of what I'm going to do. So it should be fun, and I hope you keep an eye on it and see how I do with the progress. Oh, I'm going to do that on, I did write down what it was. 32 count. Yeah, 32 count Belfast linen for my long dog. So, and getting all these kits together with all the stuff has just been a real challenge, and should be fun. If it's not fun, I'll grab a couple more coasters. The smallest one, oh, I've got a couple real dinky ones, just in case you think that I'm... This is one of those that I got ages ago by Dimensions. It's one of those that you tend to get, and it's on plastic canvas, and I don't like plastic canvas, so I'll just see how that goes. And oh, one last. It's a Buckingham Palace one, if I can do it right side up. I think I got it right. And so that's another one on the frame. So we will see how it goes. You can see me through it. That must be horrible. So looking forward, it will be one of those projects. So it's really handy having hubby do that and fix that. Nice having that. And I do have another for those days when you can't face a huge one. Anyway, I hope you all have a great time stitching. Make it fun, the mania. It doesn't need to be a chore. If it gets to be a chore, it's not fun. For me, stitching is relaxing. It's one of the things that I really enjoy. It sort of takes you out of your space and gives you a little bit of me time, which is always good. Okay, happy stitching, guys. And if I forgot to mention you, sorry. Like and subscribe, and like I say, I will be doing some weekly updates, and hope to do that. All going well. Okay, you take care. Bye-bye.